Let's go. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is obviously our Europa League pre-match press conference ahead of LASK tomorrow night. Following Jose, we'll have Davinson Sanchez doing the player element of the pre-match press conference. It is all in, so if you do have a question, please raise your hand and we'll try and get to as many of you as possible. I'm going to start with Gary Cottrell. Gary, I'm just unmuting you now. Gary.
Hello. Hello, Sam. Hello, Jose. So, do you think this is a game where starts could happen for Carlos and Gareth?
The only player that I confirm is Davinson Sanchez because he comes to the press conference. And I hope you have many questions to him, but don't ask him any question about the amazing goal he scored on Sunday.
But it would be going along with what you suggested earlier in the week or late last week, Jose, that if Gareth didn't start, I think you said on Sunday he would on Thursday. So is that still the case?
I'm not going to answer. I'm not going to tell the team. Only Davinson. We have everybody selected. These guys, they are not old-fashioned like the Premier League, and they allow us to go with a squad of 23 players. So everybody is selected. Tanganga and Eric Dyer, they are still injured. And a part of that, and the boys that I had to leave outside the Europa League list, a part of that, everybody is selected.
Okay, going to go to Ian Abrahams now. Ian.
Hi, Jose. Before I ask you about the game tomorrow, and I've got a question about that, can I just ask you for your thoughts on the...
Ian, okay?
Sorry?
Get around to a lot of people.
Okay. Fine. In that case, can I just ask you about your thoughts as we're playing a European game tomorrow about a European Super League that came up again yesterday?
I leave it for Mr. Levy. You know, in this moment I'm playing Europa League, and that's not the competition we want to be in, but is the competition that we fought a lot in the last part of the season after the lockdown to be able to play. We did already a few miles to Macedonia and Bulgaria to be able to be in this group phase. And our focus now is Europa League is the competition where we are.
Okay. And obviously a team you never played before. So does that excite you?
To play LASK? LASK?
Yeah.
Difficult team. I played against Austrian teams. I did it before. But LASK is the first time, yes, you are right. And from my point of view, they can be a very difficult opponent. In both matches to qualify for the group phase, they were playing for a long time against 10 men, and that makes, of course, a difference. But independent of that, and before that, so when it was 11 against 11, they were always very dominant. They are a team that wants to dominate. They are a team that wants to be always pressing in the opposition half. They are a very difficult team. So yes, I like to play against difficult teams.
Okay, going to go George Cummings from the BBC. George.
Thanks, Simon. Jose, I saw your Instagram post. It suggests that you really want to win this competition with your 3 balls there.
We are going to try. It's the third time I played the competition. The other 2 times, one with Porto, one with United, we managed to win it. So the record in Europa League is great. Never knocked out. Of course, lost a few matches in the group phase and so, but manage always to win it. But it's difficult. We know that it's difficult. It's a very long competition. The group phase is tricky. Then you go to the knockouts. Then you get teams coming from the Champions League, which, in my opinion, is very unfair because you play Champions League. If you don't qualify, you go home. In Europa League, we play the group phase. If a team finishes third, goes home, doesn't have another competition to play, but it is what it is. So it's long competition and very, very difficult. But in this moment, let's focus on the points that we need, 10, 11 points that you need to qualify through the group phase.
Okay, let's move on to Ellie Gold. Ellie.
Hi there, Jose.
Ali.
Hi there. Can I just ask you, kind of touched on it earlier about the players not on the list. How difficult was it to leave out Jedson Fernandez and Paulo Gazzaniga? And obviously Danny Rose as well.
It's very difficult, of course, to leave a player out. It's like to stop the player to fight for something that he wants. That's always very, very hard. The good thing is that in January you can change. So if you have a different view, you change. The Gazzaniga situation in this moment with Hugo and Joe, we believe that for the next couple of months, which is the 6 qualifying groups, we can do it with an academy goalkeeper, with a young English kid, because Paulo, as you know, is a foreign player, and the problem is with the foreign. We have some players like Ben Davies, like Matt Doherty, that they are homegrown in the Premier League, but they are not in Europe, and that creates a little bit of a problem. It's always sad to leave people out, but we have to make decisions.
And can I just ask you, obviously it was too late to register Joe Rodon as well. What can Spurs fans expect from him, and how kind of quickly you think he can adapt to the Premier League?
Let's see. Fundamentally, let's see how he adapts to us, to training, to the different level, to the different intensity. Of course, he has already a little bit of experience in the Championship. He has some experience with Wales in the national team, and for some reason we got him. We got him because we see a future on him, and a play that can be adapted to the way we want to play. So let's work and let's see the evolution, and step by step we will be there.
Okay, let's go to Matt Law. Matt, I'm just unmuting you.
Hi, Jose.
Hello.
Slightly referencing back to the West Ham game, but also looking forward to what you want to do with Tottenham. Are you aware of the phrase Spursy and what it means? Because some people would have used that phrase for the West Ham game and losing the 3 goals. And I wondered about how you could stop Tottenham being Spursy. If you need me to describe what Spursy is, I can do.
Well, that the nomination is not important for me. The past is not important for me. The future is, of course, important for me. What can I say? We are a team in evolution. I believe that nobody played better than us with the ball, which is a big evolution from last season. We are a very exciting team to watch, I believe. And that is very important, and that's the DNA that we want to have. Is that enough to win football matches? No. And you have the proof that we have only 8 points when we played so amazing in every match, a part of the Everton match. But Southampton, Man United, Newcastle, West Ham, we played amazing football, and this is very difficult to do, and we are doing that. But of course, we need to play for a result, and we have to learn how to do it.
Is that mentality or game management?
Excuse me?
Is that mentality or game management in terms of learning how to always get the result?
To be honest, is a little bit what happened is a little bit out of the context of what happened this season, because against Southampton we were losing and we were strong enough to change the result. Against Man United, the worst thing happened to us, which was after one minute we were losing, and we were strong enough to change that result. Against Newcastle, we were solid. We were playing amazing. We were solid, and then what happened is one of the beauties of the VAR this season. So this game was completely out of context. I believe that winning 3-0, minute 80, we can play 50 more matches, and it's not going to happen again. So I don't want to be stuck on these and no stories about Spursy or this kind of thing. We have just to defend better set pieces, because the team, even defensively, the team is playing very well. We conceded one single goal from open play against Southampton. One. Apart of that, penalties, lateral free kicks, VAR goals, and we are quite solid.
Okay, I'm going to go to Dan Kilpatrick, Matt Dunn, and then finish with Axel. So we'll start with Dan.
No Austrian guys?
Axel is Austrian.
Oh, come on, man.
He's from Die Presse.
Come on, let's stay with you.
He's waving at you there. You want to do him first?
First and last. Let him ask 2 or 3 questions.
Right, I'll tell you what. Axel, let's go to you first. I've just unmuted you.
Brutal.
Thank you very much. I'm very pleased. I seem to be the only Austrian here in the group. First of all, I told my son last night I'm going to speak to you today, and I rose in his estimation to unprecedented heights. So thank you. It won't last. Jose, 2 or 3 questions. You said your team in evolution. A little while ago, you were scouting Marko Arnautovic. Do you have any Austrian players on your radar screen at the moment?
Marco was not me scouting him. Was a very good technical director that I had in Inter that saw him and believed that he was a player with future. And in spite of Marco was very, very young, and we got him. To be honest, I think in football now is very difficult for us coaches to be scouting. Very difficult. I don't find time enough to be scouting. The work is very hard for us coaches. The market is wide open all over the world. Talented players they're born every day. So I leave scouting more for the structure than for myself. But without giving you any name, I would say that Austrian football is in an evolution period. I think you had a great period of your history with incredible players like Prowaska and Krankel and all these big guys. Then you had a dark period where not even at the national team level the talent was coming. But now you have good teams, you have competitive teams, you have good players. The league is getting much better. The league is getting much more exciting. You have clubs like Red Bull Salzburg, Rapid Vienna, LASK Linz. You have you have good teams. So also the national team is improving with some of the players that you have also abroad. So I think probably another golden period is arriving for you.
A golden period, that's very generous of you. If you compare Austria to Portugal, are we on the same level?
No. I think Portugal in this moment, they have one of the best national teams in the world. And not just 11 players. Portugal is in a moment now where the players, they are developing a lot in the country. They leave the country very, very early to top clubs. You see where the Portuguese players are. They are almost all of them in the top clubs in Europe. And then they open space for other young players to come from the academies and to play in the Portuguese league. Portugal in this moment is a very, very strong a country that I think even at the national team level, next Euros they are going to be there fighting. Next World Cup they are going to be there fighting.
Do you see a chance for LASK to come through, maybe together with you?
Or together with me or without us? We have to make sure that the status doesn't make us believe that is done. We need 9, 10, 11 points to make it. We will have 2 matches in December in the midst of a completely crazy fixture congestion. And we have to make sure that we start in a positive way, getting points and to qualify. A part of that, I don't care about anything else. The group is very compact. Belgium teams are never easy. The way LASK plays is a very difficult way to play against. They will make lots of points. Ludogorets is champion in Bulgaria, and I believe it's not going to be easy too. So first of all, we need to qualify, and then let's see after.
Okay, I'm going to go to Dan and Matt. If I can ask for just one question each from you, and then we're going to wrap up. So Dan, we'll come to you now.
Hey Jose. Yesterday the club left Danny Rose out of the Premier League squad, and he's also not in the Europa League squad either. I know he was potentially leaving in the transfer window, but you could have, I suppose, brought him back into the squad afterwards. Can you explain your thinking behind that and sort of say what's going on with Danny now?
Danny is not part of our squad. Danny wanted very, very, very much to leave in the January window last season. Why? Because he wanted to play and play and play, and he went to Newcastle. And in that moment, I had immediately the feeling that a player with this mentality, a player with this desire of being always a first choice, also because he didn't hide that he was thinking about national team and Euros. I always thought that our future would be Ben Davies and at that time Ryan Sessegnon. Then later we got the opportunity of getting Reguilon, and probably that was also good for Ryan because gave Ryan the possibility to leave and to play and to have this experience in Germany. Also for a kid to grow up was great for us. So in this moment we have Ben Davies, Ryan Sessegnon, and Reguilon, and it's as simple as that. Then it didn't become part of our plans. Then the market, the players, they make the market. The agents, they make the players market. If he didn't find any solution that he was happy to move, is something that you have to ask him.
Okay, Matt Dunn, we're going to come. Last question from you, please, Matt.
Jose, 3-2 on Sunday, and Gareth Bale went through on goal. showed some incredible skill to leave Ogbonna on his backside, and then somehow managed to miss, which we all expected him to score. Is he just that fine margin away from being the player he once was, or is it unrealistic for Spurs fans who remember him from 2013 to expect him to perform at the same sort of level he was at when he left the club?
No player is the same with such a gap of time. 213 to 220, we are speaking about 7 years. We are not speaking about 7 months. He's not Gareth Bale. He's every player in the world. 7 years, the players, they change. And sometimes it's not about changing for better or for worse. It's just change. It's just an evolution in the qualities, in the style of play, sometimes even in the positions they play. So of course he's not the same player. He's just a different player.
Right, guys. Thank you very much.